Get ready to gear up and get smart. SoundCheck Music Center presents Tech Talk.
Tech Talk.
A workshop dedicated to get the basics to musicians all over the universe. Held once a month at SoundCheck Music Center in Grass Valley off Highway 49 and Brunswick on Maltman Drive. Come by. Admission is free.
Free.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Brian at SoundCheck on 671 Maltman Avenue in Grass Valley, California. Welcome back. This is Tech Talk, but this is a very, very special Tech Talk. Today I am, from the heart, so honored to interview one of our teachers, John Basa, who I look up to as a human being and really enjoy what he does, and I hear the students that he teaches, and I hear them from the beginning to the end and how good they get, and it's amazing how good of a teacher he is and what his students say about him. So I wanted to include this, starting to interview some of the teachers here at SoundCheck in our Tech Talk series of videos. So I'd like to introduce you all to somebody I think very highly of, Mr. John Basa.
Well, thank you, Brian.
You're very welcome.
Great intro.
Well, thank you. First question I really would like to ask you is, what got you, there are so many instruments out there as a young person to get into. What drew you to drums?
Ringo.
Ringo, the Beatles.
He's not there now, but...
It's okay.
It was back in, my lymphedema was kicking in. It was back in junior high. I played trumpet for about 4 years and stuff. But I kept going back to the drum section. They kicked me out because I wanted to play drums more than anything. After seeing the Beatles in August of '65 at Shea Stadium.
Wow, you saw them, actually saw them.
Yeah, I could see them. I couldn't hear them though.
Oh, wow.
So after I saw them within a year, I started my drum lessons with Tony Montfort Modern Drum School in Binghamton, New York.
Mm.
And I've always wanted to play drums. I finally got the chance. Saw the main man, Ringo, playing and got me inspired. And so that was it. That was the start.
Wow. I also noticed in your bio that in the military you were doing a lot of drumming also.
Yeah, I played for Uncle Sam for a while, did marching band, concert band, small combos, rock combos, Dixieland, things like that. Pretty much anything percussion, anything music, we played it all. We did it all.
Any special events that stick out in your mind that you did in the military?
Well, we played for President Reagan up on the DMZ. That was back in about 1983. Played for Ford, Gerald Ford over in Germany. I think that was about 1976 or so.
Wow, that's really impressive. Well, us at SoundCheck Music would like to thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Of course. And we're glad that you made it safely through and you're here teaching now.
Yes.
What brought you into teaching? What made you want to teach?
Well, I just love music, and somebody asked me to teach their son, or could I work with them, and so I started doing it, and it seemed like a lot of fun. And the student responded well to me, and he picked up everything I taught him. He just picked it right up. It was quick and easy, and I enjoyed it, and I thought, well, shoot, this is a great way to make some extra money on the side, so I started part-time teaching. And that was back in the late 90s or so.
So you've been teaching quite a long time, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just had an anniversary.
10 years. I've been open as John's drum studio for over the past 10 years. I've been working with all the upcoming drummers in Nevada County.
John's Drum Studio. Where is that located at?
Well, of course, in SoundCheck Music Center.
Of course. There we go. Owned by Bill Lapham, my boss and mentor.
Yeah.
So, as a teacher, I've taught before, and I know it's not all about money, but what now that you've been doing it for so long, what are the things that make you want to come in every day and teach?
Well, it's the students. If a student's really eager to learn, I will feed him everything I can teach him. But what really gets me is the first time a student will play a double stroke roll on the snare drum or play a drum beat to his first song he ever played to and stuff, and they just get the biggest kick out of that. And I lived through that before. I did that many a time. First time I ever played a drum set to the Beatles or any other group, it was just so much fun. And
seeing that light go off.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can't agree more.
The first time a student gets a good double stroke roll and just plays it perfectly and knows that he's doing it perfectly, he just, I love it, love it.
Yeah, and no money could buy that feeling.
No, not at all.
That's great.
It's great, I love it.
Yeah. So, if there's somebody out there watching right now and they're considering drums, or parents that might be watching that are considering having their children take drum lessons, what would your advice be to them? Do they need a drum set? I get that question all the time.
Yeah.
Does my son need to bring his drum set down to do the lesson?
No, keep the drum set at home because I have drum set here, but a lot of times it's really hard teaching a student how to play drums and if he doesn't have a drum set. It's like teaching somebody to drive a car and they don't have a car. It's frustrating, but a student can go through the muscle movements, which all drumming is. It's just muscle memory. For your hands to be in a pattern, the feet to be in a pattern, put it all together, and then you can apply that to the drum set. So you can just sit here and just play a simple beat. That same muscle movement can be adapted right to the drum set and you'll be playing a beat.
Right, so they could play on buckets, countertop, the pots and pans under the sink.
That's how I started.
So yeah, they can do lessons before they get a drum set.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to. You could use a smaller amount with the lessons. What do lessons go for per lesson?
I charge $90 a month, and that's 4 half-hour lessons, 1 half hour per week.
Mm-hmm.
And a half an hour I feel is pretty good time limit to work with a student. Sometimes an hour is too much, but a half hour seems to work out really well. I get to cover all the basic reading, the rudiments, and the drum set all within my half hour.
Right. Well, that's very good. So you don't just only teach, you also perform.
As much as I can.
You used to be in the Jay Lacey Trio.
Yeah.
Jay Lacey, if you're watching this, get well fast because we got a lot of gigs lined up for you, buddy.
Yeah.
And your drummer misses you.
Get back to work.
Get back to work. Back to work, enough laying around. Okay, and you're also doing a performance in the Nevada City Theater.
Mm-hmm. It's called From the Cavern On. It's put on by Legacy Productions. It's basically a 50th anniversary of the British invasion, musical invasion. I have to make sure I say musical invasion because people think we're doing a show about the Revolutionary War, but it's not. It's about how the Beatles got started in the Cavern Club, then the Rolling Stones, Dave Clark 5, Jerry and the Pacemakers. I mean, the list goes on and on. We hit quite a few of the British invasion that happened since '64 on up to nowadays.
Yeah, well, actually, ladies and gentlemen, I went and saw this Sunday. 2 thumbs up. When I was driving there, I was like talking to my significant other and said, well, I don't know what to expect. It's a few 50-somethings, so who knows? And she said, well, I love John, and she does. And so I'll root for him no matter what. And I said, well, we'll see. When I got there, I was extremely impressed with how they nailed a lot of things vocally, instrumentally, and there's comedy, there's little skits going on, and we had so much fun that I highly recommend everybody to go see it because it's only through June 21st.
Yeah, 21st of June.
But you know, if enough people go see it, they might hold it over. Yeah, so that would be cool, because it is a really good show. And John really impressed me because I liked The Who when I was young. And Keith Moon was such a great drummer. And not too many people can nail his stuff because he was insane anyway. But John must be insane enough because he pretty much nailed the Keith Moon. I was nudging my wife going, he's got it. He's got this cymbal thing, he's nailing it. And she's like, yeah, it was great. So that's how much fun we had. We were like having so much fun. It was very enjoyable, and I recommend it highly. And if you go see it and you want to get his autograph, he's there after the show.
Sure.
And he'll autograph your stuff. And if you're interested in drums, he'll probably even take you up on the stage and tell you which drum is which we're probably going to do right now.
The most important part of a drum set is the bass drum. This sets you on the tempo of the music. Now this sets on 4/4 time, it's on all quarter notes on the beat. And next I like to add the hi-hat. This is the rhythm hand. Like guitar players, you follow this to keep up with what's going on in this music. And for the upbeat, we have 2 and 4. Usually on the snare drum. A little hi-hat flash right there. Now we'll vary the beat. I forgot to mention all these. This is everything you put in for what they call a fill. Usually in between the different phrasing in the rock song. Say if it's 4-bar, 8-bar, you can have a 4-bar drum beat followed by a fill.
So sometimes they have 2 of those, right?
Yeah, double pedal. I used to have it, but no longer.
Has anybody ever had 3?
Not that I'm aware of.
You could be the first.
That's a lot to work with.
It could happen. 3 bass drums, Johnny.
Like Louis Bellson. Louis Bellson was the first one to have double bass drums.
Ah, who's he?
He's a famous drummer from back in the 40s.
See, what do I know, huh? But that's why we're here interviewing you.
That's right.
You're the guy who knows stuff. Mom and Dad, if you need drums, drum parts, or lessons, come here to SoundCheck Music Center on 671 Maltman Drive, right next door to the coffee shop and the bookstore. And to the kids, tell your mom and dad, drums aren't really as loud as they seem. And you can put muffles, are they called muffles?
Yeah.
Muffles.
Drum mufflers.
Mufflers.
Or just not play with sticks, but play with the thing we call the bundle. About half the volume of a stick.
Yeah, see? And they could put like big rubber things on it. They're the size of each drum head.
Yeah.
Those are, what are those called?
Yeah, I have some down there. Just muffles.
Muffles or practice pads?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put a pad on top of the snare drum too, just to play, you know, on the pad itself and not have the brightness of the snare drum out.
There's also electric drums that they could use with headphones too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
So
and
that,
quiet.
so there's a lot of different options for mom and dad not to be freaked out about the noise. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you all again. But I do have a message for our possible next one. This is a message to Kenny Steele. I'm gonna get you, sucker. You're gonna do Tech Talk if it's the last thing I do on Tech Talk. So beware, I'm coming for you, Kenny Steele, and your students want you too.